card to Rory O'Carroll.
Yeah, it surprised me in a way, because in fairness I thought both of them went to the ball, hard certainly, and to the yellow card.
I thought it was a perfect tackle. Perfect tackle.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, it's Cillian O'Connor who has this, and it'll put 2 points between the teams with 9 minutes still to play. And the Hill will get excited again because there are so many Mayo people up there. And another white flag, another point for Cillian O'Connor. It's a 2-point game, and it's not over by any manner of means.
Yes, I just watched Cluxton's kickouts. The last number of them have found their target, without any great pressure being exerted by Mayo.
Well, let's see what happens here. He's chipping it towards Bastig, who made a good run. Not tracked by Aidan O'Shea, who hasn't been the dominant force we expected he might be in this final. Here's Ger Brennan. Now Michael Dara-McCauley. Back in there towards Brogan. Smothered it beautifully. Came out ahead of Caperkey. And Caperkey does well. He's a very game player, Ger Caperkey. Won't be coming up against the Bernard Brogans of this world every week. All-star from last year, of course, out here as far as Donald Vaughan. They need to get the ball out, and they need to get it into their forwards. They are 2 points behind, and we've got 8 minutes left to go in this final. Now they've found some space to the outside here, carried on by Cathal Carolyn from Mayo. Poor ball, cut out by Bastic. Good positioning on his part, working hard. In there as far as Diarmuid Connolly, trying to get by Kevin McLaughlin. Back out he comes once again. Darren Daly now came on for the second half. Somewhat inexperienced championship player in as far as Dean Robb. Unable to get any change out of the Mayo defence here. All grouping well, battling as if their lives depended upon it. They've all worked so hard to get to this stage of the championship season with 7 minutes and a bit still to go, and only 2 points between these teams. In for a fascinating finish, and Lee Keegan, his team 2 behind, coming to try and get another one. Conroy did well for him, created a decoy, but he leaves it short. And again, it's Stephen Claxton is able to take it down and begin the counter-attack. Pressurised by the Mayo forwards, but that press is broken quickly by Paul Flynn.
That was a very poor effort, it must be said, by Lee Keegan. He had made a fabulous run. There was a great dummy run made for him by one of the forwards. He should have finished that.
Great awareness by Paul Flynn to get it out here as far as Kevin McMenamin holds on to it and then loses it. Should have used it better than that. Because now it's all about maximising possession in these closing minutes of the All-Ireland final and trying to make sure you seal victory for your team. On it comes to Mickey Conroy. Conroy kicking with more hope than expectation, I think, and he hasn't managed to score so far since coming on as a first half sub for Alan Freeman.
Yes, and the situation, like when Dublin get their attacks, their decision making is that little bit more adroit than Mayo's. And Mayo too often is one, they're going individually, and the teamwork that they need to actually execute moves and open up the Dublin defence, it's not there.
Now the kick-outs are working well for Dublin, and Ger Brennan comes storming forward here. He'd love to score in this final. He was a doubt beforehand, nothing doubtful about that. Only his second championship point this season. Now is that going to prove a winner for Dublin? It's a little early yet, but there are 3 between them. And all of that coming after Mickey Conroy had underhit the first shot and mishit the second shot. 2 scoring opportunities, and Dublin come down the field showing maturity and composure and finish.
Yeah, it's a couple of Dublin players like Brogan in particular, but they have been match-shaping influence today, and that leadership shown by Brennan that time, it'll certainly spurred the Dubs on over the last period. And consider the last day, wasn't he taken off the last day? So it's a good response from him.
Darren Daly just got a yellow card for fouling there. Aidan O'Shea now 3 points behind. They need the next attack to produce a score, and that ball's going to be brought forward 13 metres, so now it's well within Cillian O'Connor's range, and so there's a chance to get it back to 2 points once again, but now only 5 minutes are left to play. Bernard Brogan's been the star up front. 2 goals and 3 points. Cillian O'Connor with 5 points.
His impact and importance has been immense, all right, but that time, an experienced player like that, you question him giving away frees, in scoring positions to Mayo, because, Mayo, it's only frees really that are getting them scores at the moment.
They need this one, and then they need some hope. They have got it. 6 points for his team. 2-11 to 1-12. could kick out again and again. What Dublin were struggling to do in the opening 20 minutes, that's retain their own kick out. Now they're working quite freely. But then that's broken up by that tenacious, tough half-back line. None more so than Colin Boyle, stopped in his tracks. Referee gives the free kick. They want to take it here with Enda Barley happily recovered, leaving it for Aidan O'Shea to take. 2 points the margin. They come again. Kevin McLaughlin, he's mishit it, and coming to take it was Keane O'Sullivan, now back in defence, going to ground.
Yeah, that ball was telegraphed to Keane O'Sullivan, anticipated very well. But on a Mayo side, Colin Boyle has had a superb game for them at wing back. He's tenacious, he's showing great leadership, he's fiery, but he's also disciplined. That again, great defensive play from Keane O'Sullivan, having a very fine game, particularly since he's come back into the corner.
Well, he was a real defensive mainstay just 2 years ago. And we're going to have another change. Jason Doherty is going to come on full forward. But this one is up here with the ever-threatening Kevin McManaman. Holds on to it. Just making sure they don't give the ball away carelessly. And they're retaining the possession now with some poise. And again, it's retained here by Philly McMahon. Came on as a sub in 2011. He'll relish an All-Ireland medal if that's what he's going to get in a few minutes' time. But there are still 3 minutes to go. The Dubs leading. And they look for a free kick, and they are going to get a free kick for that. And McManaman reached out, was caught. The foul committed after it had been played in by Diarmuid Connolly, and it was Colin Boyle who committed the offence.
Yes, I think his commentator, of course, because I was praising his discipline a couple of moments ago, but that time an unnecessary free to concede.
And so the yellow card has been given. Jason Doherty replacing Andy Moore in the number 15. The goal scored after 50 minutes, at which stage it stood at 1-9 to 1-9. Yet here we are, 68 minutes in, and Dublin now have a chance to put 3 points between the teams. And up comes Cluxton. It's not quite as dramatic as it was 2 years ago when he came to win the All-Ireland down there at the other end of the field. Just once Kevin McManaman has completed the running repairs, it will be a huge victory for June Gavin if it turns out this way. Up comes Cluxton, 1 point at free in the first half, and now he's nailed another one. Hugely important score by Stephen Cluxton, the 31-year-old, the captain, playing in his 66th championship match. Quickly back out by Mayo, and now they're thinking, we need to go, or will they get a go?
Yeah, this rubbish that teams are so intent on doing, the last couple of minutes of games, pulling players down deliberately. We're cursed with this in the game at the moment, and it's, the team reacts to it, and the referee should throw the ball up.
Well, the referee has given the free kick. I think it was the yellow card. We were watching the replay of that, and it's all the way down. It's Kevin McManaman got the yellow card, I'm told. They went out off Enda Barley, or did it? Oh, they dealt there.
I think the referee, maybe it's going to be free for Mayo in that case. It's pushing it back.
And this is kicked in. There'll be 4 minutes of added time, so there's still hope for Mayo if they can manage to mount an attack here. That was handled on the ground, I think, by Killian O'Connor. Referee didn't see it. Play comes out. Back out it comes to McManaman. Michael Doran calling now, setting off. If he looks up, he's got a pair diagonally away from O'Gara, who is available, and so too Bernard Brogan. He holds rather than kicks long. McManaman again, just holding the possession. Almost into the stoppage time. 4 minutes to go after the 70 minutes is elapsed. Back by Dean Rock. Back here towards Diarmuid Connolly. Across to Bastic. They had the subs to come on here who've been influential. Bastic loses it, but then the reinforcements came, but then lost to Ger Cafferty, and Cafferty pushed to the ground. Free kick to Mayo, but we've already used 20 seconds of the additional time. A yellow card now issued to Ger Brennan. That's Martin Carney was just saying, just trying to stop the clock, Dublin, at this stage. They need to get the ball away and get it in quickly, but carrying it into tackles like this is hardly the desirable thing at this late stage when they're behind by 3. They need a goal. 1 against 2 in towards Mickey Conroy. Dublin there in numbers. Billy McMahon picking it up. And the referee has blown his whistle again. And it's going to be yet another free kick.
This is a free out to Dublin. That's what he's calling, I think. Suits Dublin to the ground. If they slow the rate of the game down, play the clock down. Let's see here. Long ball comes in. Conroy. No Mayo, very few Mayo attackers up there. Funny, I felt in the first place, Vaughan was fouled. Might have been a free in from Mayo. The referee was missing, decides to the other way.
And Dublin now trying to hold it, Mayo trying to get it back. Chris Sparrow has done so. Turns into the challenge of Dean Rockdown. He goes yet again.
This is a goal or nothing. It's only they didn't put Barry Moore up into the full forward line for the last minute or two.
Well, they need to get the ball in. Aidan O'Shea still soloing. Now they carry it in. There was a slap there on Colin Boyd's face. The referee spotted it. Free in, but they're trying to carry it in the whole time. And there's a thicket of Dublin players back there. Strong group of defenders all around the 20-metre line. And is there anything he can do at this stage except maybe pray?
Well, the Mayo attack has let them down in the second half. I'm not sure of the stat, but I think they have only scored, is it 1-4 in the second half? That's a poor return, Ger, considering the amount of attacks that they had.
It was 8 points to 1-4 at half-time. They were led by a point. Now trailing, it's Cillian O'Connor who picks it over and says there's maybe still time. His 7th pointed free of the match. But now, as you can see, only 90 seconds to go. Jim Gavin, Mick Deegan there, poised. And for James Horan and James Narrow and Tom Prendergast, it looks like another bitter day of disappointment. On comes James McCarthy here with his ball on as far as basket. And now they can hold just over a minute of the added time to be played. McCarthy doesn't need to score, but he needs to hold the ball. And they didn't do so, and we're now inside the last minute of the added time. It's all or nothing now for Mayo. Kevin McLaughlin goes out soloing again. Across comes Cian O'Sullivan. They work it in here as far as Lee Keegan, who's tremendous in the first half, into Mickey Conroy. They need a goal, and a goal would take it into a lead situation, but they're two behind still. Keith Higgins now. Worked in, still they work it, end of Varley. They get as far as the 20-metre line.
They have to have a goal, Jared. They have to go for a goal. It's a goal or nothing at this stage.
30 seconds. Ryan Mullins looks on.
Point is no good. They just have to take it out. They have to take the gamble.
Well, Andy Moore there shouting out some instructions, and now the referee saying to Cillian O'Connor, back you go there, 20 metres out. Dublin get 12 of their players back inside the 13-metre line. The 4 minutes now elapsed. This has to be it for Cillian O'Connor and Mayo. Heaven help him, I don't know how he's going to do it. Oh, he's kicked it over the bar and he's got an 8th point. Something of an anti-climax because there's a 1 point between the teams. 212 to 114. The amateur listeners supporting Dublin, encouraging the referee to blow that final whistle at the end of the 2013 All-Ireland football final. Truxton, the captain, kicking out. The whistle sounds, it's all over, and Dublin have won the All-Ireland. Champions once again. Bernard Brogan with 2 goals and 3 points. Champions for the second time in 3 years. Sam Maguire staying in the capital. Disappointment for Kevin McLaughlin. And Mayo once again fall at the final hurdle. And a wave of emotion sweeps through Dublin's players, management, supporters, Hill 16, all around the place. They've been led by the truly brilliant Jim Gavin. He has built upon the achievements at under-21 level. He's found a balance between the Summer War winners of 2 years ago and blended those players in with the underage achievers. And they have won in the end by just a point. Dublin knew they had a great set of players. They've won. Dublin 2-12, Mayo 1-14.
Yes, and they fully deserved their victory, even though there was only a point in it at the end. I thought they were the better team in the day. They played a lot of attractive football, and all year their emphasis has been on the positive, and I'd like to applaud Jim Gavin, applaud the way he has got his team to play football. He's knowledgeable, he's calm, he's equipped with players who can get good, and he's managed to get players to get good performances out of themselves when it was needed. And I thought myself that Bernard Brogan today came up trumps when it was needed.
Well, the challenge was there for the manager and for his squad to blend the talent and such wonderful talent together, but so disappointing for Mayo. Let's go down to Joanne Cantwell.
So Dublin, once again, the senior All-Ireland football champions. Cian O'Sullivan, that is a nice ring.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing, just to hear the final whistle go there, just turn around and share this moment with some of the lads who worked so hard all year. You can't beat that feeling, it's unbelievable.
I noticed you have not one but two fat lips. Does that sum up a lot of what happened out there?
Yeah, I don't know, the first half I got an elbow so there and burst my lip, but it's always going to be a hard fight. I believe, Marty, I believe! It's just incredible.
So much running, and the two midfielders played such a major role today. It was Almighty Darren over too.
Yeah, no, like everyone today, there was numerous moments in the game when lads stood up to the plate. Dennis Master came on and immediately created a goal scoring opportunity and we got the goal. What was the difference between the sides at the end? It's just incredible.
I wonder, did you get a little bit worried though when Rory went down injured and all your sons have been used? Did you even notice that?
Yeah, I went over to Rory and the first thing he said to me was it was an hour every use, so I got a little bit worried when he said that, but he did great there for the last 10 minutes.
And you did great there for the whole set. Well done, Cian O'Sullivan, senior football champion.
Dublin are the champions of Ireland in football for the second time in 3 years. And on commentary today we had Martin Kearney and Gerard Canning. We are here in studio with Joe Bolly, Pat Spillane and Colin O'Rourke. And on a day, I suppose, gentlemen, we say congratulations to the Dubs on another All-Ireland success. Colin, commiserations to Mayo as well. They've lost this one by a single point.
Yeah, I suppose the agony in the garden goes on for Mayo, but Dublin were the better team. Martin Kearney, a Mayo man, was the first to acknowledge that, so well done to Dublin. I think they were by far the better team in the second half and they should have won by a bit more. I think they scored something like 1-6 from play in the second half, whereas the only score from play for Mayo was the goal, so I think it was a fair indication. Mayo backs were heroic in the way that they played, but Dublin had too much power all over the field, too many good footballers. Mayo were let down by their forward line, and I think it may be the start of a Dublin domination because this is a young team and there's a lot of very good footballers. The bench didn't make as big an impact today, but overall Dublin are the better team and very, very deserving All-Ireland champions, having entertained us mightily throughout the whole year.
And we saw there Jim Gavin, their manager, Pat Spillane, with Stephen Cluxton, their goalkeeper. Of course, as the captain, he'll be called up to make a speech in a moment. Stephen, a man of few words, but what he says is usual.
It'll be easy to keep the minutes of that speech in it. Can I say well done to Dublin, deserving winners. An enjoyable match, an entertaining match, an enthralling match. Probably nerves took over in one sense. It wasn't the free-flowing shootout that we expected, but Dublin were the better team. And I might have taken an opportunity as the only person to predict the Dubs to victory, as opposed to my two colleagues who will be heading to the B team next year. Can I just explain why Dublin won? Because it's the reason why I gave it the start of the game. Pace, relentless pace. They were fitness and pace. That was number one. Number two, agreed the subs bench didn't have a major bearing today. Ono Gara came off the bench, scored 2 points. Dennis Basti came off the bench, laid on a score laid on the goal for Bellabrogan. And number three, I said, Dublin have better forwards than Mayo. And look, one of the things you look for in an All-Ireland winning team is have they a quality forward who on his day is simply unmarkable. Dublin had that in Bernard Brogan. 2-5, 2-4 from play. He was unmarkable. And you look at Mayo's stats, 2 forwards score from play. The only score from play, as Colin alluded to in the second half, was the goal from Andy Morden, who did score a goal and 2 points, and Joe would have had him taken off. So, Joe, explain, Dean.
Okay, before Joe does that, the Sam Maguire Cup is about to be handed over, and the president of the GAA, Liam O'Neill, will say his few words before Stephen Cluxton accepts the cup.
Yeah, it's good one. O'Neill, ready with his couple of football. And by God, are they going to enjoy the day and the night. Worthy winners.
Ar dús ball an bhuiig sa ball a ducht in a tháinig aniu chun tapu le Mayo agus Oflia. Agus ball an bhuiig sa ball a ducht in a tháinig chuig cluichí I rit na bliana. Bhí blian úntaach pera going aniu agus é cluiche canis saor maithe going aniu freisin. Ball an tres aniu ó Cree go bhaile an clia as an bua úntaach a bhí acu an seo aniu. Ball an Portron ó Macree a dhéanamh le Mayo agus tá sulagam gur hapann siad a rás an céadú eile go mbeidh turn níos fearr ar na gcuid ibre. Ball an bhuiagus a bháil le Super Value, Ulster Bank agus Airpan as an áireamh a thugad ar dúin don promotion seo I bliana. Agus a lift cárde is cúis áis agus an óra don. Carn Sam Maguire, a runner, our captain, Uduk Aucklia, Stephen Cluxton.
Liam O'Neill ready to present the Sam Maguire Cup to Stephen Cluxton as Dublin are the new All-Ireland champions, champions of 2013, champions for the 24th time. What an achievement. They played stunning football all year. Worthy winners. Fans' favourite. Good enough to win the league, good enough to retain the Leinster title, now good enough to reclaim the famed Sam Maguire. Some year. There'll be a big night all over Dublin. The last time there was a captain up there receiving it, he said, we'll see us later in a certain Dublin night spot. I don't know about you, Martin, I haven't managed to get there yet. I'm not sure that there's certainty to people like...
I think we're brave for that, sure, in fairness. But just a word about Mayo, in fairness. In defeat, defeat is devoid of consolation, is devoid of virtue. It's empty, it's total, it's devastating, and the experience is horrible. But I still think they're young enough to regroup and have another go next year. But on the day, they weren't good enough.
Waiting for Stephen Cluxton to speak.
To lead this group of lads has been absolutely phenomenal. So everything that they get tonight is well deserved. Well done, boys. I suppose we wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for all the boys that participate in our games, training. So those that missed out on coming and travelling on the day, lads, this is for you guys as well. I suppose I'd start off with the manager. He's brought a new dimension to our game. He's allowed us to dictate what we wanted to do on the pitch to an extent. Repetition. But no, Jim, thanks a lot. To all our coaches, we started in November and we said it was going to be a long journey, and that it was. So thanks a million to all our coaches because they put in the time and effort behind closed doors to make sure everything was there and right for us. So thank you. I suppose to our background staff as well, they work hours and hours to put video analysis together and everything. So we really appreciate everything you do. You make our life easier by doing all the work, that hard work. So thank you. To our doctors and our physios who keep us on the pitch, our dietitian, all of those, it's hard work and we appreciate everything that you've done for us. So thank you. So we fly through. Thanks to the county board, thanks to our sponsors, We'd like to thank Mayo for a wonderful game out there today. It was nip and tuck, really went to the wire. Unlucky, but they were caught. Thank you.
It's a very thoughtful and very comprehensive speech by Stephen Cluxton. With Gilbert Connolly lifting the cup. It's Dublin's day. They remain focused on their ultimate target, and they had the capacity to attain that objective. But Sandy's coming home, and Molly Malone and all the others who had a big welcome for the big and famous trophy. As Dennis Bastic here came on, made a very, very fine contribution in the second half. And Dublin, with Cian O'Sullivan lifting the trophy, they'll all have their go. It was their day. It was Jim Gavin's magnificent triumph.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, the Dubs supporters in good voice, obviously, here at Croke Park. And I'm sure in good voice in many far-flung places as well, watching today's match. I want to say hello to Nick and Liz, who are watching the Hill 16 public gathering in Belmedina. Greetings come from Robbie. Joel Brolly, all this year long, Dublin have looked like a team that were heading to win the All-Ireland.
Just the question finished.
That's the question finished.
That's true. To some extent, that is true. I mean, they've lost one game all year in the league. Mayo will be very disappointed. You know, they did half the job. I mean, they curbed 5 of the 6 Dublin forwards. You know, the 3 young Dublin forwards were taken off. Michael Darragh was curbed in the middle of the field. The Mayo half-back line was truly magnificent, and their defending in general was magnificent. But it does illustrate the confidence that a marquee forward brings. You know, as Paddy said, Brogan was able to score 2-4, even though he was very well marked. Mayo had no one like that, a talisman that they could look to that would galvanise those around them. And you know, as the match wore on, I think the crucial moment though, even in spite of all that, the crucial moment was the second Dublin goal, because Bastic had just come on the field, he ghosted forward, he set up the goal, and without that the game could still have been in the melting pot.
Let's hear from one of the Dublin players, Philip McMahon.
Congratulations. I mean, I was commenting to Cian O'Sullivan earlier about his fan lips. You now have a bashed chin, of course, had to change your shirt in the middle as well. It was so frantic out there.
Yeah, a few more wheels showed the aggression and desire in the game, so we wouldn't want that either way, especially in the defenders. So, you know, to come out with the win and have some more wins is great.
Yeah, what was it like actually as a match? Because it just was non-stop, constantly.
Yeah, look, we stuck to the game plan, we through to the last minute. You know, a few lads granted towards the end, but I know probably get a bit of stick off the Shamrock Rovers lad for that, but yeah, look, it's great to come out on the way out of it.
Not too many managers come in and manage to claim the All-Ireland in their very first year. What has it been like with Jim Gavin? It's obviously been very enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. Look, he's put a system in and he's told us the way to express ourselves, so we have done and we've got to be well for it.
You're obviously all full of belief and fully behind the man in charge.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there is, you know, from the last one, there is, another one in for us in the show today.
Speaking about belief, it looked like even towards the very end, when it looked like Mayo might come back, you never doubted that you were going to win this.
No, we shut the game off. You know, we got men behind the ball, and we worked for them, and that was the end product. You know, working for each other from the beginning to the end, and again we got the result.
Now, Bernard Brogan has been playing a different role for this year. He picked a good time to come back and be the king of the scoring.
Yeah, definitely. We knew we had a game in him, and he's been getting tight in training, so that has helped us.
Do you know what? There's a man called Sam who's just gone behind us, so I better let you go off and have a go. Philly McMahon, well done today.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, well, Philly's going to have a nice little bit of a shiner in his cheek after that injury he picked up during the course of that match. I'm sure he won't mind that during the week. Let's just talk briefly, Pat Spillane, about Mayo. They've lost 2 All-Ireland finals in a row now. I mean, obviously, for any county, it's going to do damage. And where will this leave them?
Well, it's now 7 All-Ireland defeats in 24 years, Michael, and I think that mentally it's going to be an awful struggle, Michael. It's going to be an awful struggle. I think there's a rebuilding job, unfortunately. There's a rebuilding job, and there's a rebuilding job up front. It's forwards, Michael, where they failed today was not in defence, they were superb. Not at midfield, they were superb. Where they failed was in the forwards. And you can see 3 of their best forwards over the last